Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Nice and glad to see you again. This is the second part of the video from episode 2. In episode 2, as I promised you in the first part, we're going to discuss about functions, about the UI and the operating system, which is driving the TBS8510, mostly about Kylon. For that purpose, we're going to use without tuner, the version of TBS8510 without tuners, but with static preloaded streams. I mean, there are already some files, they are inside the machine, and the machine is going to transcode them and do all kinds of things while I'm speaking and explaining about the software. We have here, it's in quality and assurance mode. Quality and assurance, it means that this machine right now is truly tested before sending to the customer, shipping to the customer. So we're going to start very firstly with home. We are already logged in. The username is admin, basic password, something. And we can see in the home tab, we can see information about CPU, such as the CPU load, the memory load, CPU temperature, and also usage, storage utilization, data, how much is the system. Also, we can see here one of the network cards, because only one network adapter is connected. And of course, the 3 GPU nodes, node 1, node 2, and node 3. For the GPU, we have a number of processes, how many parallel streams or content we are processing, the memory utilization, how much memory it takes, how much GPU power it's used, yeah. Decoder encoder ratio, which is very important, power draw, how much power draws from the grid, and the temperature of the GPU. In this case, we have 10 processes on GPU 1, 10 processes on GPU 2, and another 10 processes on GPU 3, which means that totally 30 pieces of streams or video material, it's processed right now as we speak. It's processed, it's transcoded, and probably sent in the network somewhere. Okay, we're going to continue with the second tab. The second tab, it's about clients. Here you can monitor and see if any player is connected or any client is connected if you have such things. For client, as you may know, you need the STB, which is provided by TBS as well. And now we're going to dive into the more advanced settings and system modification and system manipulation. So we have a summary. In the summary tab, we have some information, how many streams they are ready for HTTP access, how many they are copy with transcoding profile copy, how many with transcoding profile H.264, 15, and another 15 with H.265. This is a very powerful machine, as I told you, because there are 3 GPUs, and all 3 GPUs, they are performing exceptionally. No tuners, so we will not see. We're going to skip the DVB management part because we don't have DVB inside. In the settings area, you can adjust different protocols, such as the streaming engine with high precision. You can edit and modify monitoring and relaying, packet relaying, no PCR lookup. We have different kind of settings. We have the output options, the most popular SRT type of output. We can set it up, give some port, HTTP output, and set the correct network interfaces to output via SRT protocol or HTTP output. We have also some encryption. Yeah, if we want to set multicast or if we want to encrypt the streams or the content, we can encrypt it from here. Advanced settings have much more features. You have, for example, you can set up your buffers for processing the video. You can choose between TS processing, high precision, TS processing, no PCR lookup, monitoring, relaying, and packet relaying also. And then you can also set the output options, encrypt options, multicast options, And also you can add different values and modify different values over the TS processing files if you are using TS files. You can also modify differently the input options, slowing or fasting the time and the speed and the timeout, and you can set specific user agent. External module configuration, warm-up delay, freeze threshold, these are very technical, deeply technical for those which are passionate and they want to dive entirely inside the system. And also we have here starting program numbers, LCN from operator, from the TV operator, or if you want to add your own LCN to the content. Okay, as I said, we're going to skip the DVB management. We're going to enter a little bit in the TS acquisition. Here you can get the content from outside, meaning unicast, multicast sources, IP sources usually, HTTP, RTSP, HTTP live streams, SRT, multi-program transport stream, local files, stream capture if you're using a HDMI capture card, and other sources, and of course instances if you want to check how many instances you are working. This is input. Now output, TS submission. TS submission, transport stream submission, it's done with multicast if you want, CDN in case of you want to use the RTMP push protocol. Multiplexers you can set up if you have inside the machine, if you have a QAM modulator, a cable modulator. If you want to inject the content, the video content into a PON or EPON fiber, you're going to use a modulator and this special feature, multiplexer and modulators as well. This machine sadly does not have installed a modulator. Okay, and here we have the external modules. External modules, only the post-processing. In the post-processing area, you have the profiles actually, and you can alter and modify different parameters on the video, such as codec, audio, video tracks, subtitles tracks, resizing if you want, adding watermark, flipping the image, basically everything which is require manipulation of the content. In the output, we have the HLS. If you're using and working with HLS, you will find it that HLS is a very powerful and very handy output system of the Kylon machine. Pretty much this is it on the live streams tab. In the status tab, we have some extra things, which is monitoring. In the status tab, it will show us CPU load, memory load, incoming, which means network load, outgoing, and we can, as I mentioned in my previous videos, we can also see the URL of the streams, meaning what is playing, what is transcoding right now. You can just copy from here the URL and paste in VLC or whatever player you are using, and it will play the content which you are processing and making. In the system side, in the system tab, we have the settings. We can set up date, time, user interface, modification, notifications from panel for the LCD, and we can see the build, the version of the Kylon, if it's enterprise or some other thing, yeah, depending on the licensing. We can see the working address of media server of the streaming engine. We can see the distribution, the core, the kernel, which sits on some CentOS Linux kernel. And we have a lot of other extra information, such as VPN, if you want to connect with VPN or use VPN service. Notable things you're going to find in the tools. In the tools, you have the media server. You can set a cron job, for example, for machine to periodically reboot, sometimes at the middle of the night or whatever you need. Whenever you need, you can just set it from here to self-reboot. Archiving, if you want to archive and back up your settings, yeah, and restore your settings in case of your machine is something wrong with the machine. And with the TBS8510, yeah, you just hit apply and it will create a backup of the best configuration you want. Then you can factory reset if you want and restore the backup from the previous file which you downloaded. We have reboot, shutdown, factory defaults, which is, as I told you, it's sending everything to zero, like a brand new machine out of the box. And if you're interested about the performance of your machine, you can see in the logs, even if you have some problems or issues, you can diagnose them from the logs. In the users area, you can add extra users with different level of permissions, such as admin, remote admin, system admin, and so on. And you can delete users. Basically, it's just user management. Then we have the services, HTTP service. This part, we added something new. We added SSL, meaning that you can encrypt the connection between your machine and your destination from your machine, which is your source, and to the destination. Encrypting, you can load your own paid certificates, or you can use the default certificates, which this machine is coming from TBS. Once it's set, there is a secure line between your machine and the destination of the content. So no one except you can be able to see what's happening there. SNMP, we discussed already. This is a monitoring special service. So if your network is SNMP capable, you can just set it up right here in this area, and you get the SNMP monitoring service working. Sharing, if you want to share the internal storage to make possible to load video files or audio files or whatever files you want to process, yeah, you can load them with Samba, and all you have to do is just enable and connect, and you can deploy the file there. In the network area, you have the interfaces. Yeah, our machines, our TBS8510 machine, it's coming with 3 network cards. One of them is IPMI, meaning that you can remotely manage. And the other 2 are regular 1 gigabyte per second, 1 gigabit interfaces, which is pretty much. You can set here the IP addresses if you want, specifically for your network. You can set up DNS, gateway, and things like this. Routing area, you can set specific routes for sending your content. And in the diagnostic area, you have capability to see if you did something wrong or the machine is not performing correctly. You have a couple of tools to test, see the ping, see the domain lookup about the HTTP connectivity, network adapters, and routing table. And here you have the external modules. External modules usually they are deployed by TBS. They are not available. So if you purchase some external modules, TBS will automatically download them, and from here you can see them, enable or disable them up to your needs. And in the last tab, we have the commit, which is one of the most important. We let one tab because it's very important just for this. In this tab, whatever modifications, whatever you are doing, all the time you need to apply, because the system, it can be pre-programmed, but then it will need the go. So in the commit area, you just prepare your machine to do the task which you want, and then you can just push commit with restart streaming engine, or just update to avoid, commit with update to avoid making the engine unstable and attach to other, and distress the other content. Or just interim simple update. Yeah, you did some programming and you want just to apply, and that's it. You're gonna use the interim update. Well, pretty much this is it. I'm gonna see you in the next part, part 3. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.